Good morning, peace and blessings. How are y'all doing today? Today is Monday, and Monday's the day governed by the moon. How was Mother's Day? Did you guys have a good day? How was it? How was my Mother's Day? Mother's Day I spent it with my family. And let me tell you, I have a long, sordid history with my family. Like most of us do, right? Most of us have all sorts of trauma and karma and all sorts of things that we have that happen with our family. And so Mother's Day is that for me as well. And it was interesting because I am a mother. I'm a mother to a child who is an Aquarian. And Aquarians are not, they don't align to their mother's energy like most signs do. They are here to break ranks with the maternal patterning. So my son is, my son is not a mother's boy. That's for sure. Which I appreciate because that's not who I am anyway. Like, I'm not that kind of mother. Like, I'm the kind of mother that's like, all right, you good? You good? Peace. All right, cool. That's who I am. Like, I have girlfriends who are mothers who are like really mothery and really, that's not me, and I'm cool with that. So I wasn't mothered like that, and I'm not the kind of mother like that. And so these Mother's Day days and things are like that for me are, they're awkward. They're awkward. And I don't really care for them, honestly. But I do like spending time with people. I do like being with folks. So I spent the day with my family. My aunt who raised me, who was like my mother, which was incredible. And then we have two new mothers in the family. A young mother who's like 22 years old, or maybe she's 24 or something like that now. My cousin, and then his sister, and then her brother has a baby. So we had two babies that are cousins, and that was really sweet. But then I spent the day with my cousin who I grew up with, who I was really close to as a child, and I was looking at our astrology, and our astrology, like, we were so close as children, and I looked at our astrology and it made sense because she had the southern node in Virgo, and I'm a Virgo, and I have the southern node in Libra, and she's a Libra. So we were tied together at the hip as children. And then I went to college and all that changed. And yesterday we were joking because she smokes cigarettes. She actually smokes like cigars, which is really interesting. But I started her smoking cigarettes when we were children, or when we were 14 or so. And I still have stuff about that. I feel remorseful. I feel some sort of guilt. So it's always interesting to go home and see what's going on there, and to be grown-ups and to see the children that are coming up. And so it was interesting. So I think the thing that was most interesting about it is my niece, or my cousin, who is really coming into her own clairvoyance. She has Saturn in the 12th house. She's in her Saturn's return, and her psychic abilities are coming in really strong. So that's really what it was about. It was about my niece kind of letting everybody know, like, she's talking to our ancestors, and our ancestors have requests of us to change our behavior. Our ancestors are asking us to make amends and do some different things because it's time for our family to step into another way of being. And so it was really interesting because it was like my family, like, we grew up in a church. My great grandfather had a church. We were all spiritual, and we sort of strayed from that, and now we're going to come back in this new way. And it was just interesting. So Mother's Day was interesting because one of the things that I'm aware of is that I've been holding the space in my family, doing this work since I was very young, and now they're all catching up, and everyone's sort of like, oh yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting It's interesting. So that was my Mother's Day, and it was nice. And thank you for all the Mother's Day wishes. The picture that you guys see that was taken here of me, my cousin took that picture. Like, we're all starting to realize our gifts and talents, and one of my cousins is an incredible photographer. And so he took that beautiful picture of me and several more. And so, yeah, there's something happening going on. So the moon today is a moon day. The moon governs the mother. And Taurus is exalted. The moon is exalted in Taurus because Taurus is the earth. It's the earth realm. It's where the energy of the moon comes into the earth. And so it's like, you know, the water and the earth, how water and earth work together. It's what water does in our bodies. It's the nurturing aspect of, you know, earth and water together, which creates reality. You know, like I remember when I visited Africa, people would have homes that were made out of bricks that were soil and water, you know, like mud bricks. And it creates a whole thing. Like, we in the West, we don't do that here, but in other more indigenous cultures, they do, and it works, and it's fantastic, right? And so, and then they would have, you know, like palms on the roofs of their houses, and just how the earth can help you create a home. And that's Taurus energy, and your senses and feelings. And one of the things that's been really incredible for me is that I've been noticing that I can feel the presence of God more in my life. I can feel the presence of spirit more. And I think the reason why is because I've been focusing on bringing the internal to the external, which is the Taurus energy. It's like giving birth, the internal coming to the external, giving birth to something. And so there's so many layers and energetic fields around that. And so I've been feeling more connected to the invisible in the scene. I still can't, I hear myself say, Spirit, you're asking me to be in this way I can't see. You're asking me to function in a way that I can't see what's happening, but I can feel what's happening. And it's like I'm bringing the invisible to the external experience. And I can feel the presence of the divine, the living intelligence in this reality. I can feel it around me. I can feel it through me. And that's an interesting feeling because I've not had that before. But what I'm realizing is that it is the embodiment of the God consciousness. And so the work is, the Taurus is your senses. It is your senses. And so, you know, it's trusting. And so what I've been doing is using a pendulum to be more connected to my thought consciousness and my feeling consciousness so that I can align what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, and like so I can make it flush is what I want to say. So I can make it flush. Reminds me, if you've ever studied any of the Egyptian pyramids, they talk about the measurements of the pyramids and how perfect they are, how they measure so perfectly to the measurements of the earth. And, you know, all of it it's flushed, right? And so that's what I'm beginning to feel as we're moving into this new moon in Taurus, a flushed experience with my internal and external reality, where I'm feeling it coming into beingness. And so we're going to have the moon is in Taurus. We're going to have the moon in Taurus at, let me see, what is oh gosh, I don't want to get the book. Let me see, where's my book? Hold on. So at 7 degrees, and 7 degrees of Taurus is, oh, Spirit is wiping my memory. I can't stand when Spirit does that, because then I have to close this video. Okay, here we go. All right, my bad. Thank you. Sorry about that. So 7 degrees of Taurus. 7 degrees is where the moon was when I checked. And 7 degrees is generosity. Right. Yes. So 7 degrees is generosity, and we're going to have a new moon tomorrow at the 21st degree of Taurus. So 7 degree of generosity. So this is so beautiful. So Generosity is really the abundance of the universe. Taurus is abundance, wholeness, value, money, sensual, your feelings, and generosity at the seventh degree is really recognizing that the universe is not holding anything back from you. Oh gosh, the universe is not keeping anything from you, but there is a way, there is a method by which you have to resource the abundance of the universe through your life. You can't just, and the way that we're taught to do it in the West is not accurate. So there is a system, there are cycles by which we follow to source abundance, and generosity is all around us. And one of the ways that I do that is by following the moon. So when I follow the moon, this is why I offer, these classes, the 13 Moons Initiation, because you have to take the steps. You have to take the appropriate steps. So many of us in the West think we want things quickly and we think we can just do a microwave system and then it's there, right? Like I've taught people a couple of things and then I see them out talking about it, but you have to embody this stuff. This stuff is an embodiment because there is a rhythm in it. So the universe is not withholding anything from you. Anything you desire, you can have if you are willing to follow the systems and the cycles that allow you to access it. And then tomorrow, the new moon comes in at the 21st degree, which is the degree of harmony. So it's like harmonizing all the energies, harmonizing the abundance, harmonizing value, but harmonizing the energy from Aries, harmonizing the energy from Pisces. That's why it's important to follow all of these cycles and understand how they live inside of you. And so if you are in need of really recalibrating your energy and beginning to understand what I'm talking about, go take the Pluto retrograde class that I'm teaching now. It's a 5-month class. It's all rituals. It's not a heavy course. Or sign up for the Rebirthing the Authentic Self course, which is a slow process towards reacclimating your energies, because this is what I teach in these courses. So the new moon will happen tomorrow at 11:59 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to happen at the 22nd degree of Taurus. New moons are when we come in to set intentions. But here's the thing, right? It's important that we, just like this, a woman knows that she can only get pregnant 2 to 3 days a month. That's it, 2 to 3 days a month. So that's why you have to set your intention at the timing when the moon is exactly where it's supposed to be. And you have to do the work and the rituals to open up the energy so that you have a chance of getting impregnated with your intentions and desires. I teach this stuff. And let me just say this. I just want us all to win. I really want us all to win, especially Black women. Because when Black women are winning, it's going to change our lives. It's going to change our community. It's going to change the world. It's going to change this country when we really get into our leadership roles. And guess what? Black women's leadership roles are not in politics. That's not where our leadership is. Our leadership is in leading in natural law, leading in the spiritual realm, in the earth understanding, right? That's how we built this country, through understanding our relationship to nature and our relationship to God and our relationship to man. And that's what we need to do. We need to come back to that. And that's not politics. And that's not this corporate stuff. You can bring this energy to those environments, but that's not what those environments are. Those environments are actually very far away from it. And so you have to bring spirituality to it. For Black women, we need to be working in the spiritual. We need to be working that. And when we come into that power, we will open up everything. So with that, I'm the Moon Mama. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful Monday. Bye-bye.